Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the very close attention that you have given to us as we have presented the facts and testimony of this case. At trial here is Officer Waldman and his employer, the City of Chicago, all for the tragic events that early morning of December 7th. But yet, we can clearly understand that why Officer Waldman is one of Chicago's finest. It was he and his partner, Officer Levy, that were checking out the site of a burglary late that evening, December 6th, nearby Rockwell and Division Avenue. And they were intent on doing what they could to find that burglar, to scour the neighborhood looking for the person who may yet still be leaving with the goods. But it was while searching for this burglar that they met Robert Ramirez, a troubled man with way too much to drink, who was looking for a fight. A troubled man who tailgated Officers Levy and Waldman, who came back and did so again. And yet, these two officers did what they could to just stay clear of this person. They pulled off on another street, and yet Robert Ramirez's own testimony is he pursued them. He was looking for a fight. Again, it was Ramirez's own testimony that Officer Levy encouraged him to just go on, drive on. But Robert Ramirez would not do that, do the sensible thing. He picked a fight with a cop. He may not have known that it was a cop at the time, but he picked a fight with the wrong guys that evening. Officer Waldman came to the aid of his partner. That is his job. That is what we expect of our policemen. They do need to look out for each other when one is in peril. You have heard much testimony of the policy of Chicago to avoid deadly force except for very narrowly defined circumstances. We have, I believe, justly shown this to be one such situation where that requirement was met. Officer Waldman did not have the luxury of a great deal of time when he came around behind his own car and saw Robert Levy with his arm up, knife in hand, ready to strike a fatal blow on his partner. Baby questioned how much control did his partner have over Robert Ramirez at that moment. But from the vantage point that Officer Waldman was, he should not be second-guessed. This is not Monday morning quarterbacking. In his eye, he saw this as an occasion that required very fast, deliberate action. And that was to fire his revolver into the back of Robert Ramirez to end the threat, that threat to his partner. And I believe we can be thankful that Officer Waldman did what he did, that we do have Officer Levy with us still, another asset to the City of Chicago and all of us. It is a shame that young Robert Ramirez suffered as he did. The 2 months of intensive care, the loss of his body weight, the loss of his blood, the loss of wages, the loss of potential wages. But this is clearly something where Mr. Ramirez needs to take account of his own actions. He has to take responsibility for what he did. It is because of what he did, of the fight that he picked with Officers Levy and Waldman, that brought all of this on to himself. I feel sorry for his young wife and his young son. But it is Robert Ramirez that needs to take the responsibility. I trust that when you weigh all of the testimony and the facts we have given here, that you will come to the only proper conclusion, and that is that Officer Waldman and the City of Chicago are in no way responsible for the lost wages and the pain of suffering that Robert Ramirez experienced. That you will find him, clear him of any and all liability in this claim, and therefore the City of Chicago as well. Thank you very much.